Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Love ain't about perfection. Everybody out here trying to act perfect, trying to look perfect, trying to sound perfect, but real love, it don't live in perfection. Real love lives in the mess. It lives in the arguments, in the attitudes, in the moods, and in those days when you ain't got the energy to be nice. The worse you are, the more he loves you. Not because he loves chaos, because he sees you, the real you. Real love sees beyond your flaws and imperfections, and that's the truth most people overlook. When someone genuinely loves you, they're not just attracted to how you look, how well you talk, or how sweet you act. When everything is perfect, they see past all that. They see the parts of you that you think nobody could ever love, the parts that you try to hide because you think they make you unlovable. The funny thing is, those are the very parts that make someone fall deeper for you. It's your honesty, your vulnerability, your chaos, your insecurities, your attitude, those things that make you real. A man who loves you beyond your flaws doesn't love a version of you that's edited for the world. He loves the raw, unfiltered version that shows up when you're tired, emotional, or unsure of yourself. Love that sees beyond flaws is love that's mature, tested, and true. It doesn't fade when you make mistakes, and it doesn't disappear when things get hard. It's the kind of love that says, I see you, I know you're not perfect, but I still choose you. That's the foundation of real connection. Anybody can love you when you're smiling and looking good, but the one who loves you when you're distant, moody, or struggling, that's the one who really sees your soul. They see the beauty in your imperfections because they understand that flaws are what make you human. You can only keep up a perfect image for so long before life starts showing your cracks, and the person who still stands beside you after that is the one who's in it for the right reasons. Real love doesn't come with conditions. It doesn't say, I'll love you when you change, or I'll love you if you become better. It says, I love you now, even with everything that comes with you. That kind of love gives you space to grow, not pressure to perform. It doesn't shame you for being emotional or sensitive. It accepts those parts of you because that's what makes you unique. The truth is, love that only exists in perfection isn't love, it's fantasy, because real life gets messy. People have past fears, habits, and scars. When someone can look at all of that and still say, you're worth it, that's when you know you've found something real. The right person will never use your flaws against you. They won't make you feel small for being imperfect. Instead, they'll help you see beauty where you see brokenness. They'll love you for your honesty, even when your honesty isn't pretty. Because love that lasts isn't built on pretending, it's built on understanding. And when a man loves you beyond your flaws, he's saying, I don't need you to be perfect to deserve my love. That's real power. That's real connection. So never hide who you are. One meant for you won't see your flaws as problems to fix. They'll see them as proof that you're real, and they'll love you all the more for it. A man who truly loves you accepts your attitude and moods, because he understands that love isn't about always being pleasant or predictable. It's about showing up for each other, even when the energy isn't perfect. Everyone has days when they're quiet, irritated, or overwhelmed, but the right man doesn't take your attitude as disrespect. He sees it as part of your emotional rhythm, part of what makes you human. He knows that your mood isn't always a reflection of how you feel about him, but sometimes just how life feels on that day. That's the kind of emotional maturity that keeps love strong. It's easy to love someone when they're cheerful, but real love stays steady when the moods change, when words slip out that shouldn't, and when silence replaces conversation. When a man really loves you, he learns your emotional patterns. He starts to understand when to give you space and when to pull you close. He doesn't try to fix every mood or argue every emotion. He listens, he observes, and he responds with patience instead of pride. He knows that sometimes you don't need a solution, you just need someone who won't walk away when you're not your best self. That kind of patience comes from genuine care. He realizes that love isn't measured in smiles. It's measured in consistency. It's in being there when your attitude flares up, when you're exhausted, or when you're too frustrated to even explain what's wrong. Right man doesn't make you feel guilty for having emotions. He doesn't say, "You're too much," or "You're too emotional." Instead, he finds beauty in your intensity because it shows that you care deeply. He knows that a woman with passion will sometimes have strong reactions. She'll feel everything deeply, love, pain, disappointment, joy, and he doesn't try to tone that down. He appreciates it because it means your love will be just as powerful. The man who loves you through your moods understands that behind every attitude is a heart that wants to be understood, not judged. He doesn't let temporary tension destroy permanent connection. A man who truly loves you doesn't give up on you when your emotions get heavy. He stands firm, showing you that love isn't fragile, it's forgiving. He knows your moods don't define your love, and his patience doesn't make him weak, it makes him strong. Because only a strong man can love a complex woman. Only a secure man can handle a woman who speaks her mind, who sometimes pushes back, who sometimes breaks down. He doesn't need perfection, he just needs honesty. He'd rather have your real, unfiltered emotions than a fake smile and quiet resentment. When someone accepts your attitude and moods, it's not because they enjoy conflict, it's because they value connection. They love you enough to stay through the waves, to ride out the storms, and to wait for the calm. They don't see your attitude as a reason to leave, but as an opportunity to understand you better. And when a man loves you like that, with patience, understanding, and with grace, he's not just loving you, he's choosing you every single day, no matter what version of you the day brings. When you show your real self, that's when real love begins. So many people walk around wearing masks, afraid to let someone see who they truly are because they fear rejection. They think that if they show their flaws, their insecurities, their doubts, or their pain, the other person might leave. But love that's built on pretending will always fall apart. The moment you have to hide who you are to keep someone, you've already lost yourself. Real love doesn't start when everything looks perfect. It starts the moment you stop performing and start being real. When you finally say, "This is me, and I'm not trying to impress anyone," that's when someone who truly loves you can actually connect with your soul, not your mask. You can't fake love because love can't survive behind walls. You can look good, smile all day, and play a role, but deep down, you'll always know it's not real if you're not being yourself. When a person truly loves you, they don't want the edited version. They want the messy, emotional, complicated, beautiful truth. They want the version of you that laughs loudly, that gets angry, that cries at small things, that dreams big, and that sometimes doubts everything. That's the version they fall for because it's honest. The moment you allow yourself to be seen, flaws and all, that's when real love has a chance to grow. A lot of people think that showing your real self means being weak, but it's the opposite. It takes strength to be real. It takes courage to say, "This is who I am, and I'm not perfect." When you let someone see that side of you, you're giving them the chance to love you for you, not for what you have, not for how you look, but for who you are inside. That's the kind of love that lasts, because pretending might keep someone interested for a while, but authenticity keeps someone connected forever. You can only fake perfection for so long before exhaustion hits. But when you're real, you don't have to keep up an act. You just have to show up as you are. When you show your real self, you also give the other person permission to do the same. That's what makes love powerful. It becomes a space of truth, not judgment. You both stop pretending and start connecting. You laugh at your imperfections together. You learn from each other's flaws. And you build a bond based on honesty. And the beautiful thing is, when someone falls in love with the real you, you never have to fear losing them over the small things. Because they didn't fall in love with a fantasy, they fell in love with your reality. That's the kind of love that feels peaceful, not pressured. It doesn't require you to be perfect. It just asks you to be honest. Real love doesn't demand you to change. It helps you grow while loving you exactly as you are. The right man doesn't run when things get messy. He stays. Because love isn't proven when everything is calm. It's proven when life gets complicated. Anybody can stand beside you when the sun is shining, but it takes a different kind of heart to stay when the storm hits. The right man won't run away when arguments happen. When misunderstandings show up, or when you're not easy to love, he doesn't see mess as a reason to leave, but as an opportunity to grow together. Real love isn't about perfection. It's about commitment. It's about saying, I'm not going anywhere, even when it's hard. When a man truly loves you, he doesn't disappear when things aren't convenient. He stays because he sees something deeper, something worth fighting for. Life will test every relationship. There will be days when communication breaks, when patience runs thin, and when love feels heavy. The man who's meant for you will understand that hard moments don't mean it's over. They mean it's time to work through it. He knows that real love requires effort, forgiveness, and faith. Running away is easy. Staying takes strength. A man who stays is saying, I choose you, even when it's not easy. That kind of loyalty is rare because most people love for comfort, not commitment. The one who truly loves you will stick around, not because he has to, but because he wants to. He knows that the same woman who frustrates him today is the same woman who makes him smile tomorrow. The right man will face your imperfections in his own, knowing that the bond you share is stronger than the temporary chaos between you. He won't let ego win. He won't let pride destroy something real. Instead of walking away when you clash, he'll try to understand. Instead of using silence as punishment, he'll communicate. Instead of avoiding you when you're upset, he'll stay close because he knows distance during pain only creates more pain. His love won't be loud all the time, but it will be steady. He'll show up when you least expect it, when you think he's tired of trying, and prove that real love doesn't quit. A man who stays when it's messy is one who values the connection more than his comfort. He's not scared of your emotions, your past, or your flaws. He knows that every relationship has rough edges, but what matters is the will to smooth them out together. When he stays, it's not because everything is perfect. It's because he believes you both are worth the effort. And that belief is the foundation of lasting love. Love isn't proven in the easy moments, it's proven in the difficult ones. The right man knows that when things get messy, that's when you need love the most. And that's when he holds on tighter, because leaving never even crosses his mind. The right man doesn't run when things get messy, he stays. When love is real, it's not scared of discomfort or difficulty. The right man understands that every relationship will have its rough moments, that sometimes emotions will rise, words will clash, and life will test your bond. But instead of running from those moments, he faces them. He knows that walking away during tough times means losing something precious, something worth fighting for. He doesn't leave because he sees beyond the mess, he sees your heart. He understands that love isn't about finding someone who's perfect, but about building something real with someone who's worth it. When a man stays, it's because he values what you share more than his pride or peace of mind. He knows storms pass, but the one who weathers them with you becomes unforgettable. There's a certain strength in a man who chooses to stay when things get complicated. It takes patience, it takes maturity, and it takes emotional courage. Anyone can say, "I love you," when everything's going smoothly, but the real test is whether that love still stands when tempers flare and silence fills the room. The right man doesn't turn his back when you're moody, distant, or hard to read. He doesn't pack up when life becomes unpredictable. He stays because love isn't convenience to him, it's commitment. He understands that relationships aren't built on easy days alone, they're built on staying through the hard ones. When he loves you, he doesn't count your mistakes as reasons to leave. He sees the intention behind your actions, the heart behind your words, and the pain behind your silence. He knows that sometimes you react out of hurt, not anger, and instead of giving up, he chooses compassion. He doesn't take your flaws personally, he tries to understand them. Because when a man is truly invested, he doesn't need perfection. He needs connection. And connection requires staying, even when it's uncomfortable. The right man fights through confusion because he knows clarity comes from communication, not distance. He won't walk away when you need him most. He'll hold on tighter, even when you push him away. Love is not proven by how someone treats you when everything is perfect. It's shown by how they treat you when everything falls apart. The man who stays during your bad days is the one who truly values your presence. He's not staying because he's weak. He's staying because he's strong enough to love you through it. He understands that love without struggle is an illusion. Real love is messy, emotional, and unpredictable, but it's also powerful, healing, and rare. The right man knows that walking away is easy, but staying takes heart. So when he stays, through the arguments, through the distance, through the storms, it's not because he has to. It's because deep down, he knows you're worth it, and he'd rather fight through the chaos with you than live in peace without you. Being worse sometimes means being real, not fake. So many people try to be perfect all the time, thinking that perfection will make someone love them more. They hide their opinions, silence their emotions, and hold back their true thoughts just to keep the peace or appear lovable. But the truth is, when you constantly pretend to be perfect, you're not being honest with yourself or the person you love. Real connection doesn't grow from pretending, it grows from truth. Sometimes being worse just means showing the sides of yourself that aren't polished or easy to understand. It means saying what you feel, standing up for what you believe in, and allowing yourself to have emotions that aren't always pleasant. That's not being difficult, that's being human. A person who truly loves you doesn't want a version of you that always agrees or always smiles. They want the version of you that's alive, passionate, expressive, and genuine. They know that sometimes you'll be soft and loving, and sometimes you'll be strong and fiery. That's balance. Love without authenticity is shallow. The worse parts of you, the attitude, the emotion, the stubbornness, the flaws, those are what make you real. And realness is what keeps love grounded. The right man won't be scared of your intensity. He'll be drawn to it because he knows that a woman who's bold enough to be herself, even when it's not easy, is a woman who's strong enough to love honestly. When you're authentic, you stop living for approval and start living for peace. You realize that love shouldn't feel like performance. It should feel like freedom. You shouldn't have to shrink yourself to fit someone's comfort zone. The moments when you speak your truth, even if it makes things uncomfortable, are the moments when real love starts to grow. Because the right person doesn't want you to suppress who you are. They want to understand who you are. They'll listen to your words, even if they sting a little, because they know those words come from a place of passion, not cruelty. Being worse sometimes just means being honest about what you need and what you feel. It means you don't hide your bad days or pretend everything's fine when it's not. You allow your emotions to be seen, and you allow the other person to love you through them. When you're real, you create space for real love to enter. Because someone can't truly love you if they don't really know you. The wrong person will call your authenticity too much, but the right one will call it beautiful. The right person won't try to change your fire. They'll learn how to warm their hands with it. So don't be afraid of being worse. Don't be afraid of showing the messy, raw, emotional sides of yourself. Because if someone truly loves you, they won't run from your realness. They'll respect it. They'll understand that your flaws don't make you unlovable. They make you unforgettable. Love grows stronger through honesty, not perfection. When two people build a connection based on truth, it becomes unbreakable. When love is built on pretending, it crumbles the moment reality shows up. Honesty might make things uncomfortable sometimes, but it keeps love real. You can't build something meaningful while hiding behind masks or avoiding hard conversations. Real love isn't about being flawless or saying the right thing all the time. It's about being genuine, even when the truth isn't easy to say. When you're honest, you allow love to breathe. You give it space to grow in truth instead of suffocating it with pretense. Perfection may look nice for a while, but it doesn't last. Honesty, however,